Welcome to another episode of The Memories Show. On WSGS, I'm Stuart Shane. We welcome your memories and we'll take you down memory lane. Well, a little thing, just kind of a recent tradition with me and my wife. We like to watch at least one old movie over the weekend. I love anything retro, so we enjoy, watching an old black and white. Doesn't have to be black and white. What about your movie experience? What's your favorite one? Give me a call. Let's see. Let's go to the phones, and we've got two people standing by. You are in Knott County. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And I remember when I was a little girl, my grandma would churn butter, and we had what you call a spring, water boiling up out of the ground. And they dug out around that to make like a pond. And that's where she would put her butter to keep her butter cold.
Yeah.
And we put the milk in a pail and put it down in the well.
That was your refrigerator.
That was the refrigerator because we didn't have electricity.
Yes. And
That's
it
a
worked.
long time ago.
Yes, it was, but it's
Yep.
good times. I bet you wish.
It sure was.
I bet you wish you could go back.
No.
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 Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like all the other people. I'm spoiled now. I don't want to go back to hoeing corn and drawing water out of the well and digging coal and chopping wood.
Right.
No.
Well, I'm sure there's parts of that you'd
It's
like
good
to.
memories.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to go back.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's smart. That's the way we need to be.
Yeah.
Because we can't go back.
No. Yesterday's gone forever.
That's right. Now
Live for today and hope for tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
You have a good day, and thank you.
And you remember the ice boxes? My dad remembers looking down Main Street years ago, seeing a worker, carrying a big block of ice on his back. He said that was a common sight back in the day, and that's hard to imagine now. But Main Street, he was delivering a block of ice to one of the businesses on Main Street in Hazard. WSGS, where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Josh. I'm calling from Owsley County.
Okay, I'm glad you got through.
We talked a little bit about last week about Lowell Gale Morris's book. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You were talking about the ice houses there earlier.
Right.
And in his book, he describes Absher's. It was a sawmill along the river. And he said it also doubled as an ice house. And, of course, they built their own big, huge ice houses. They would take the sawdust from the mill and they would stuff it in the walls, basically as insulation. And then they would also put the sawdust in between the ice blocks in the ice house and then on top of it and on the sides all around it. And he said that would keep all year round.
I appreciate you sharing that with us. That's just totally amazing, those ice houses and how the ice would keep year-round. I bet you when refrigerators came out, some people thought, well, we don't need those. This, does the job. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. People were so innovative, that is for sure. And let's go back to the phones. Go ahead, you're on. Knott County, Adam Short.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you something. Today is the 9th of February, and it was on this day in 1964, Ed Sullivan had somebody on his show. You remember who that would be, 1964?
I watched him about every night, buddy, but I really don't.
It's the Beatles.
The Beatles. But didn't they come to this country in what time, in the early 60s, something like that?
64, this
Yeah,
day.
that's what I thought, yeah.
Did you watch that show in 64?
I probably watched it, but I don't remember much about it. But I remember when they first come here,
Right.
They had long hair, and I was wondering, I said, what in this world is them? They had long hair then. Back in, long hair was everybody had short hair back in,
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And I didn't know what thing to see all them guys with long hair.
Yeah. I remember watching the Beatles, and I was a tiny thing. I was 4 going on 5. That was February, so I was 4 and turned 5 in June. And the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. We watched it at our home on a Predicta television. It looked like a big eye on top of a little stand. Speaking of the Beatles, on the Ed Sullivan Show on CBS, it was a Sunday night, February 9th, 1964. There's a story, a true story. Elmer Davis, who ran the Elmer Davis Gulf Service Station, was rushing home to see the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. So he was at work, and he was operating that service station in Hazard, but he was rushing home and maybe driving a little fast. He got pulled over by the police on his way to watch the Beatles at his home. The policeman was Don Brashear, and he said, "Why are you going so fast?" And Elmer said, "I'm going home and trying to watch the Beatles." And from then on, Don Brashear referred to Elmer Davis as Beatle. He said, there goes Beatle. He got a kick out of that. WSGS. Go ahead, caller. Where are you calling from?
Wise County, Virginia.
Wise County, Virginia. All right.
I got a memory or two if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, my sisters lived in Indianapolis, Indiana, and they went and seen the Beatles. I believe it was at the Indianapolis racetrack. I'm not for sure. But I know in '65 they brought me a Beatles shirt and gave it to me.
Well, I don't guess you still have that Beatles shirt, do you?
No, I don't really know what happened to it.
Well,
don't.
That's been a while.
I appreciate your show. I've never called in, but I do appreciate y'all.
Well, thank you for calling, and you be sure to call us again. I like your memories.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Wise County, Virginia. And I think I mentioned before, my wife loved airplanes, loved flying, loved everything about it. She had an opportunity as a little girl to go see the Beatles in Cincinnati. There was an option for her, go see the Beatles in concert, or go to the airport and watch the airplanes take off. Well, she chose the airplanes.